Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Once again, a detailed lineup, many things that we're discussing on the show today. Let's take a look. We'll start off with cricket, of course, and in cricket, the big news is that the Pakistan players are set to get a big raise as promised by Chairman PCB. Qainat and Babar have endorsed a 20% raise in the salaries of players. Domestic contracts are in consideration for renewal. New central contracts will also be announced soon. The whole process of budgeting and the budget for the PCB is on the cards. It's good. We've always talked about the fact that players need to get enough incentive, but I think at the same time my one reservation would only be that money needs to go through a trickle-down effect and come to the regions and the grassroots levels, and then improving club cricket and school cricket as well. Moving on, PCB is also holding trials for female cricketers. The trials are being conducted by highly qualified coaches throughout the country. Various venues had already been announced. We discussed them. We also shared them with you as well, the detailed schedule. And these trials are being held in all 6 provincial cricket associations in 3 categories, which are emerging, under 19, and senior cricket as well. After that, some news from the international arena. Cricket South Africa has withdrawn the misconduct charges against former cricketer Mark Boucher. The board found the charges no longer sustainable. He was earlier charged for gross misconduct by Cricket South Africa. Huge news, of course, this one as well. And then, of course, moving on to football. A lot of news in football, a lot of hype, the money as well. So a lot of transfer news on the cards for football as well. That's the lineup that we've got, and we're going to be continuing the discussion right after this short break. Welcome back. Time now to start the discussion with our guests. First of all, in studios, we've been joined by cricket commentator and our cricket expert, Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good, Ahmed. Thank you. And how about yourself?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Good to have you on the show. We've also been joined by cricket commentator, senior cricket commentator, cricket expert, and somebody I'm sure who's going to be very happy hearing the news that there are incentives now on offer for players, because that has been the advocacy from sane cricket people all around. And I think it's a great time to have her on the show as well, Leena Aziz. Assalamu alaikum, Leena. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Ahmed. Hope you're well, and hello to Asif also.
Leena, your thoughts now. I think first of all, it's a step in the right direction, giving an increase to our players, much needed, we can say at the least.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel that the Pakistani players are an extremely talented lot, and world over the wages are entirely different to what our players get. If you talk about Australia, England, India, those are the big 3 that get a lot more money than our international players, and then also other countries. So it was high time that this 20% is just a baby step in the right direction. And then from here, the Pakistan Cricket Board can slowly take it further. Every few years, there could be a revision of the central contracts and etc., or the fees for the test matches, one days and T20s, etc. So this is a right step towards the right direction, much needed also. Players, like I said in the beginning of my statement, you can call it, that they're extremely talented, they deserve to be played much more.
Asif, your thoughts on this entire news, first of all, that salaries are increasing for the players?
And I'm expecting the same thing for you and for me as well. Well, it's a really good news, you know, that because according to the sources that Saqlan Mushtaq, the head coach and the captain of all 3 formats, Babar Azam, they've requested in a meeting with Chairman PCB, and they've asked at least 20% raise. I was just checking, and if you see the comparison in our neighbor countries, that they got the 4 categories. The first of all, A plus, then A, B, and C. And we got same the 4 categories. We don't have A plus. We have A, B, C, and then emerging. And if you see the comparison, it's a huge difference.
They're a rich board.
Know, even look, they're working on their system. They're working on the cricket, and they do know that the Indian people, they love cricket as a religion. Yeah. And this is their second religion, same in Pakistan. And previously we have seen that, and we have observed that the former test cricketers, they were always about the raise in their salaries, in their income. And I was just watching an interview of former legend fast bowler Shoaib Akhtar, and he said that I wanted to give at least 20 million rupees 1 month for a domestic cricketer, 2 crore Pakistani rupees. If you see Virat Kohli getting 70 million Indian rupees per month.
Yeah.
And even our player in Pakistani, I think they aren't getting even 1 million for 1 month. So it's a good thing. And as Miss Leena said, that you're taking baby steps. It's really important that if you are giving strength, a mental strength to your players, they will be getting good results after this. So not only on the national level, but I'm requesting and I'm suggesting, please make an increase for the domestic players as well. And you know, the first time in Pakistan cricket, the city players, the players from the city district associations, they're getting really less, only 5,000 PKR, but even then they're getting. So we're appreciating. At least we have started. At least,
yeah, like I said,
moving
trickle-down effect that we all believe in. That I mean, if we can encourage them on the grassroots level, it might help.
Yes, of course. You know that. See, when you were playing cricket, when I was playing cricket, we'd have to buy our cricket kit. We'd have to buy our cricket bat, each and everything.
We still do. We don't have sponsors. No sponsors for us.
Look, see, but if you are getting, you are just 14, 15 years of age, or let's say you are under 19 and you're getting 5,000 stipend, it would help you definitely. And with the passage of time, I'm quite sure that the PCB will be working on this. They'll be getting, you know, they'll be getting some sponsors. As Ramiz Raja said, the chairman PCB, that they'll be getting sponsored for the school cricket as well, and then the under 19 PSL. So the sponsors are there. They're ready to help you out. The important thing is that now it should be appreciated. The criticism is still there that only 5,000, but at least they have started. We should appreciate this.
We should appreciate this. Leena, it's a good step because we understand that a lot of our players come from very humble backgrounds. And I think the priority is there. Most of them leave cricket because of the fact that there is not enough for them to run their households. That's one problem. The second problem was that once departmental cricket was eliminated, there was huge hue and cry of players' salaries and them losing their jobs. But that was the case, that if we can put enough money into the PCB for these players on a domestic and international level, they can be focused on just cricket. And I think once we've commercialized PSL, we're increasing the teams with every passing year, we've grown as a league. Pakistan cricket is on an all-time high, performing in the World T20, in the World Circuit. Our players performing on the county level, all eyes on Pakistan now. This is how things will gradually improve.
I mean, you know, these, like I said previously, that this is the right one step in the right direction, paying the international players more. Then you rightly pointed out that, you know, the first class players need to be paid more, and then you talked about the trickle down effect going up to club and, you know, school cricket, etc. And we did hear a while ago that there is a stipend which is being paid to certain cricketers at a very junior level. But I'd like to echo what you're saying, in the sense that, you know, these cricketers who are playing first class cricket, their livelihood depends upon playing cricket. And you pointed out that, you know, they come from humble backgrounds. So they're looking to make money. This is their profession. They're looking to make money from cricket. This is their profession. So they need to be paid more. The second thing is that how much are people paid in other countries? You know, we need to take a look at that also. How much are cricketers paid at domestic level in India, for instance? We need to take a look at that. Okay, if we can't afford that, then we need to bring sponsorship into our domestic cricket and increase the, you know, the match fees, per match fee for each cricketer. Pakistan Cricket Board can plan that, but it definitely has to increase at the domestic level also, and then so on and so forth. So it's very important.
Very important indeed, and that's what we hope for, because there's been a lot of thought going into this. And like I always say, that the first agenda of Chairman PCB Ramiz Raja, once he came to the helm of affairs, was increasing the salaries of our cricketers, both at the domestic level and the larger level as well. So I think that actually transcends of the vision that at least someone from a cricketing background, whose Chairman PCB understands the problems that the cricketers are facing on the domestic front and on an international level. So like I said, more focus can definitely go there as well. Now that being said, moving on, we always hope the best for PCB and our players on the domestic and international level, but it's a step in the right direction. Moving on, talking about more initiatives from the PCB. Trials are being held for our female cricketers throughout the country in all 6 cricket associations, and these trials are in 3 different categories: emerging, and under 19 and senior cricket as well. And there has always been a talk, Asif, about increasing the pool of players. And once you have open trials where raw talent is being scouted, that's how things will improve.
Well, accountability is really important now, that because in previously we heard that you know, the mafia is in Pakistan Cricket Board. Sorry to say I'm using this word. Why? Because I've faced this, because I've been into the trial system, you've been into the trial system, and what we heard that the selectors, whoever they are, they're just taking the names from the club's heads, the club's presidents, and they don't see that either he could play or she could play or not. But I think that really important that now the Pakistan Cricket Board has taken this initiative, that they're going on the grassroots level and taking trials for the you know, emerging and then young girls and then the senior girls as well. So being a cricket lover, being a cricket analyst, I see a hope of light, you know, because you know that this is the hope for me, for the players who are just waiting and just playing in their clubs and streets. And they're just waiting that if someone is asking for the talent, just we are here to show up the talent. So good initiative, and though it's pretty much hot weather, but you know it's all about your cricket. And I do remember in June, July, in the hottest days, even we used to play test cricket in our club, 2-day, 3-day cricket, and this is what happens in the under 19 as well, 2 days match. In summer, of course. So good initiatives from the PCB and our young girls, emerging girls. Even on the other day, I mentioned that I knew a young girl, 10 years of age, Meera. Her name is Meera. She's a fantastic player. She's a fantastic batter. She idealized Michael Bevan and Chris Gale. Now this is a time for her, and she must go there and show up her talent. So when the ladies, the young girls, they're coming in the cricket, of course that they're bringing Pakistan's name up to the world, and that the rest of the world, they'll be definitely observing that the Pakistani females are not behind and they are ready to show up their talent in the world as well.
Definitely. Leena, the trials was the first step. Now that's being done. What should be the next one? Because now if we are able to scout a certain number and increase the pool of players, then obviously this is raw talent that needs to be taken care of.
Well, you know, this is a great step in the right direction. Once again, I mean, there is so much interest in the female population of our country in cricket. Generally, you see so many broadcasters coming up. And once again, I'm going to say that some of them are very good, some of them not so good. So but the good thing is that there is interest. So that is how, you know, the players, the young cricket players, the female players also, there is a lot of interest in them also. So this is the right step in the right direction. Now you've had the trials, or you see which one are the fast bowlers, which one are the batsmen, which one are the all-rounders, where do you need people in your team, and then accordingly you start training them and separate them. And also there is the good thing about going to different areas is that I keep saying that areas like Peshawar and Gilgit-Baltistan, the north, they could give you a lot of fast bowlers. Look at that, Diana Baig, she's from that region, excellent fast bowler. Then Central Punjab could also give you fast bowlers because the ladies are well built and they've got a lot of power, good physique to bowl fast. Then different other areas can give you batsmen. Maybe certain areas can give you wicket keepers. So now you've seen the trials, you probably selected the girls, and then you sort of streamline this whole process. And how they do it, it's up to the selectors, up to these people, the trials, the coaches, the high-profile coaches who are watching the trials. They will now start grooming them, and then we'll see that how many girls come up from this trial. And the other thing that Asif said is also that there shouldn't be any the people should the women who come up from these trials and start playing for maybe Pakistan team or under 19 or whichever section they're chosen from, they should be chosen on merit. That's also very important. And then the areas, there's so many small things that they can be looked into. And the other thing is, we were just talking about money as far as the male cricketers are concerned. I also feel that the female cricketers I know that Ramiz Raja has a very good plan for them. Slowly but surely, the wages for the female cricketers need to go up also. Their central contracts need to go up also. If there is a player who's very talented, I, as a woman, feel that she should be paid equivalent to a man who's equally talented in his department, team, or area. So, I feel these little things also have to be looked in. But once again, it is a great step, and now it's up to the coaches and the PCB to sort of streamline this whole process and get the best out of it.
Definitely, the best out of them, and I think I'll agree that a lot of money needs to be put into women's cricket to improve the infrastructure, to improve the standards of women cricket, the practice facilities, everything involved, because that's the only way we'll be able to attract and create a safe and enabling environment, I think, is the most important factor. Because if somebody wants to send their daughters, their sisters, to this environment, they need to know that it's safe and there is enough infrastructure in there to support them as well. I mean, it's even hard to make necessary logistics and travel arrangements. So I guess there's a lot more thought that needs to go there. And I think professionalism is the word. On the management side of the women's cricket, and I'm sorry to say this, I have not seen that professionalism in the past many years. I think it's about time that there was a very strong administrator for women's cricket who would come with a vision and not necessarily be, I think that's my own opinion, be a female candidate. It could be a male candidate as well who is good with the administrative affairs. And of course have a female candidate to look after the players, talk to them, because you always need to eliminate that barrier and create that sense of oneness and understanding as well. That should be the case. Moving on now to some news from the international cricket arena as well. Cricket South Africa has dropped the charges against former cricketer Mark Boucher for gross misconduct, and I'll just read out an article that came from BBC Sport, which of course detailed what had happened. And Boucher has been charged by the governing body following tentative findings made by the Social Justice and Nation Building Ombudsman, which is the SJN for South Africa, last year. Previously, he's apologized himself for joining teammates in singing songs and using nicknames that caused offence. Former captain and director of Cricket South Africa, Graham Smith, was already cleared of racism allegations in April. Former left-arm spinner Paul Adams had told the SJN Commission that a racial slur about him was used in a team song in the late 1990s. That further highlights how it went. And Boucher, who's of course played 147 test matches and 295 ODIs between 1997 and 2012, subsequently apologized in a written submission to the commission as well, and of course declined to testify further. He was also accused of sidelining former assistant coach, which he denied, but of course he testified against Boucher as well. So there was a complete mess that was there, and of course I think not just cricket, the world has no place for racism, and South Africa has a deep and painful history attached with it as well. So this was taken very seriously, but I think the fact that the apology was done in written submission and from the heart as well on a public scale, Cricket South Africa agreed that there was no need to further drag these charges and reach a settlement. Asif, your thoughts on this entire
you know, if you talk about the great Nelson Mandela, the South African leader, he fought 26 years against this racism, because earlier on when they were facing lots of problems in South Africa, and he fought really, you know, with the bottom of his heart, and he got the respect all over the world. And of course, you know that when we talk about cricket, this is not happening first time. In 2006, Jack Callis, he had refused to sing the national anthem. And if you go and this the same
recently
thing,
with Quinton de Kock,
yes, in the World Cup, in T20 World Cup, and same thing happened with our former Test captain and you know, Sherazi, that what he said in South Africa. So I think, and he also apologized. Same with the Mark Boucher, and even Graham Smith and A.B. de Villiers remain with the same charges as well. And the good thing is that Mark Boucher has realized, and he apologized against Paul Adams, the left-arm spinner. So I appreciate Mark Boucher, and this is the time to tell everybody that this cricket is for the human, and the cricket teaches us what that is, the ethics and humanity,
inclusivity.
yes, and And when we fought against any sort of racism here in Pakistan, these people, these black colored people, they're facing this this criticism and the racism all over the world, and that's why, you know, that we got the hashtag as well, that the Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
And you mentioned about Quinton de Kock, the same thing happened in World Cup, T20 World Cup, but I think later on he has also apologized.
Yeah, he apologized. He apologized. So he didn't understand the situation at present then.
Yes, so even Jack Callis, Graham Smith, A.B. de Villiers, Mark Boucher, whoever, I'm not mentioning specifically their names because they have apologized. This is the good thing, that if you realize your mistake, go for the apologies, because cricket is the game which belongs to humanity, which belongs to gentlemen. The people call it gentleman game.
Yeah.
So the good thing from Mark Boucher, and I really love him as a cricketer, the way now he has apologized, more respect, more love.
More respect, more love. Leena, I think not just cricket, and I'll take your final thoughts on this scenario. Everything that we do, me, you, K. Asif, anybody involved in any field of life, are doing it to create a more conducive and a better future for our next generations, for our children. And of course, I say this with complete honesty. You, of course, have highlighted this before as well, that you give a very common example of how you tell Noshirwan to behave with domestic staff. I think that's just one part of it. I mean, this is the point where cricket is such a global impacting sport, where anything, be it in the right direction or the dark negative side of it, if it happens, it actually becomes a tool where young minds are then attracted to it and probably would repeat these same things, whether good or bad. So first step, apology, yes, on a public scale. Second step, create enough awareness that we understand that this game is for all of us.
Well, both of you have already said whatever needed to be said on this issue. I just add a little bit and say that, you know, racism, whether it's cricket or outside cricket or daily life, it's just not acceptable. I'm really happy that now cricketers are coming up and speaking about it. Rafiq, the British cricketer, he spoke about it. So more awareness is being created. And when the first step towards resolution of a problem is awareness. Now that awareness is being created, and I'm happy now that, you know, people are apologizing and it's going in the right direction. So I'm just happy that these problems are now being resolved, and cricket is the front runner in this. We're taking the lead in this as cricket people, as cricketers. People apologizing, people are pointing out. So at least we know there is a problem, and we know that racism does exist. First of all, you need to know that the problem exists, and then you need to resolve it. Now we are towards resolution. We will keep hearing more and more issues where people will be pointing out and people will be apologizing. And apologizing is always a great thing. But this racism goes a long way back, thousands of years back. And now it's, I'm happy that in our times, it's coming towards a resolution. I'm not saying it's going to end or it's going to vanish from the world, but at least it's towards resolution. You talked about me telling Noshirwan how to behave towards domestic help in our house. You know, it's very important, and I urge all the mothers or fathers to tell their you know, little boys and girls not to be rude to them, because, you know, they leave their homes to come and serve us. They leave their families to come and serve us and make our food and clean our houses. So we need to give them that respect. We need to understand that they're human beings. Also, while on the subject of this, I need to compliment you on the Eid shows. They were fantastic. I myself watched it 3-4 times. So job well done, Ahmad, excellent, and a fantastic job by the production team, Sherazi and everyone, and fantastic. So on that note, I just say that, you know, we talked about all this on that show, but our, you know, parents need to tell their children first thing how to behave towards their domestic help. From there, they will learn respect and equality. Our religion tells us to, you know, that all human beings are equal, whatever color, race, creed they're from, and that is what, as parents, we need to inculcate in our children.
Definitely, Leena Aziz, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. And of course, as Leena said, we've got a phenomenal team here at Sports Extra, so we do produce the best content courtesy of our team. Asif, final thoughts, something which I think should be done, and I'll ask your comments and expert opinion on this, is that on a larger scale, the Pakistan Cricket Board has done many initiatives. But one thing can be included, and one of them is communication skills, and second, proper workshops on code of conduct, even on the grassroots levels.
Really important, you know, because we have faced criticism all over the world concerning our ethical values. And when we talk about the match fixing, either the
ball tampering, yes.
Yeah, either the ball players involved in ball tampering anywhere. Even, you know, the former captain Shahid Afridi was chewing the ball over the camera. That was his frustration actually, and I've spoken to Rana Naveedul Hasan because he was bowling there in Australia, and he said that I asked to Shahid Afridi, Shahid bhai, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing just for yourself, so you could bowl nicely. So it's all about you know, characteristics, that how you're building. So a really important question once again. Thank you very much that you are highlighting this issue. And PCB should work on the ethical values on the PCB, on the players, especially the people, this players coming up from under 19, under 16 level. So teach them that because they're the ambassadors of the nation. They're ambassadors of the, you know, country. If they're behaving well, we'll be getting respect. And if the people like, you know, that as Salman Bird, Asif, and you know, Amir or Shajil or Khalil Latif, they remain in match fixing, and later on we face lots of criticism all over the world, and even still we are facing that. So if you want to come out all of the situation, you would have to teach your players that what are the ethical values are.
Definitely. Very important. Asif, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Extra. On that note, we'll go towards a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss football. Stay tuned.